In Power BI, there are multiple visualizations that we are aware of. We have default visuals, we have custom visuals, we have multiple animated charts, we have graphs, whatnot. Now the point is that when we have multiple visuals, it is very difficult for us in order to go and look into any specific kind of data that we would like to just see. So for that, what we do, we use the type of filters. So if not filters, because filters are the default thing that we have it in Power BI desktop. But once the dashboard is shared or the report is shared, filters option will not work. So what is the probable visual that we choose for that? We have something called as a slicer. Okay, we have something called as slicer that we use. But are you aware there is something called as a new feature in the slicer that has come up in October 24 version? Hi, I'm M. Asif Hussain from KnowHow Academy. What are we going to learn in this video? We are going to learn and understand the different ways of using list slicer in Power BI. We are even going to learn how it is going to impact on the visuals in Power BI report. By the end of this video, you could able to learn the practical approach of preparing or creating a text slicer in Power BI. So watch till the end. My dear viewers, here we have one visual. Okay, so I have one visual with sales by month. So we have month information here starting from January to December. And again, if I would like to see in this month, we have the sales. Okay, so on each month, how much sales has happened, that kind of information, I have it in this visual. So now keeping this visual apart, if we just look into the visuals, we have something called as slicer. So the general slicer that we use is this one. And the slicer that we have seen is a text slicer, but we have something called as list slicer. Okay, so this is the new interesting feature that has come up in Power BI. So if I click on this list slicer, okay, we have got this slicer here, and in this slicer, if we just see, we can keep any information, either if you would like to keep categorical data, if you would like to keep numerical data. It is our choice, whatever we would like to keep in it. So let's consider that I would like to keep the subcategory. Okay, if I would like to see the subcategory here. So now it is just looking like a normal slicer to you, where we can click on any subcategory and we can see how much sales has happened on that particular month for this particular subcategory. In order to make it much more interesting, or if you would like to know how this is more efficient or how it is very attractive when compared to other slicers, for that we have to work on the formatting part. So let's work on it. So when I'm talking about the formatting part, here in the formatting, if I come into the size and style, first let us go and change the background color for this one. So it is white color by default. I'll go to more colors. We can select any color that we want depending upon our choice. So it's up to us. Okay, so whatever we are going to choose, it's up to us. Alright, so this is the background color that I have considered, and the visual border for this visual in order to make it much more attractive. So for this, what I'm going to do, I'm going with the rounded corners. I'm just making it 12 points because the same thing is for this visual as well. So I have done with this one. If I would like to add a small shadow, yeah, I can go and add it to make it look much more attractive. So I'm done with the size and style. So if I just look into the title, so it is subcategory. Okay, so now I can just add one word here called select a subcategory, so that someone can, with whom I'm going to share this report, they can just identify that, okay, so I have to select some subcategory here. So this is the heading. I would like to make it bold. I would like to increase the size of it to just 1 point to 15. And the same way how I have made the title here, I would like to make the text color white, so that I can make the background color black, and I will align it to the center. Okay, so I am done with the title as well. Okay, I do not have any subtitles, so that's not the point. Now when we come into the slicer settings, so we have to see that if you would like to have the single select, or if you can have the multiple select, or if you want to have the select all option as well. Okay, so that we can go and add on here under the slicer settings. When I come to the point of shape, so this is very important. My dear viewers, see here in this particular each subcategory that you are seeing it is squared way. It is in a rectangle. Okay, it is in a rectangle way. Accessories, appliances, art, binders, select all. The complete shape of this particular box is in the shape of a rectangle. So if I just scroll down, everything it's in a rectangular shape. So in order to make it a bit attractive, what I'm going to do is that the shape rectangle, I'm going to convert it into the rounded rectangle. Now we can see that the rounded rectangle, it's in a rounded rectangle shape. If we see here, see this? It's in a rounded rectangular shape. Okay, so in this rounded rectangular shape also, how much points you would like to give it the rectangular, that's rounded one, that's we are asking it here. So if I would like to just make it to 15, or if I would like to make it to 18, it purely depends upon your choice. All right. So if you would like to customize the style, we can even also customize. Okay, if top left corner, okay, how much if you want to have the borders rounded way. So all these things we can, if you do not want the customized style, we can even off it. So that's point under the shape. But if I would like to come into the layout, so this is another important part that we have to consider it here is that, so we have multiple subcategories here. So if we just count, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There are 17 subcategories. Adding with select all, it's 18. So there are 18 subcategories. If you do not want to show 18, okay, or if you would like to show only the 5 here, in the next 5 in the next page, so if you would like to go with that, then we have to select the buttons shown. Okay, buttons shown, there are 8. If you would like to make it to 5, only 5 will be visible, as you can see in the first slide. 5, again you scroll down depending upon your requirement. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is the 5, the select all. So if you would like to go with 10 for example, then it's becoming much more clumsier, right? So we will go with 7, so which is a bit happy to just look into the particular content and just click on it. Okay, so that's done with the layout. Now if you see here, under this layout we have seen the buttons shown. Now we have something called as the space between the buttons, that if you would like to change it, space. So if I would like to increase the space, just look into this. If you would like to increase the space, so the space is getting increased, So with this, what's happening here? It is giving some gap between the subcategory to the subcategory, which is not getting collided with each other or getting overlapped with each other. So this is one interesting thing. So I am done with the layout option here, but under the layout we have something called as overflow. This is very important. In this overflow, if you see here, what it is telling, it is continuous scroll. What do you mean by continuous scroll? Continuous scroll is this one. As I can scroll this, I'm scrolling it. As you can see that I'm scrolling it. But do you think that it is interesting to scroll? So if not, how can I convert it into a paginated way? So for this, under the overflow style, we have something called as paginated. So that if I click on it, now my dear viewers, see this, it's looking a proper visual without getting collided or without any scrolling option. Okay, but instead, rather than the scrolling, what I have done here is that we have something called as arrow mark. If I click on this arrow mark, I'm getting the rest of my subcategories that are remaining. If I click on the arrow mark above, I have the above, whichever are written, and that's I'm going to see it. So if we have it something in a paginated way, that's always an interesting point to the end user also, so that they can just click on the arrow mark and see what are the remaining subcategories or whatever the information that you are about to keep it in the data field section. Okay, so another interesting thing here is that I'm done with the layout. Now let's go with the callout values. Okay, callout values. See this is a default callout value. If you would like to go with mixed, or if you would like to go with hover, Okay, or if you would like to go with press, that's the state that you are going to select it under the callout value. Now under this one we have something called as layout, that you can arrange it either on the top, either on the center or at the bottom. It's the alignment that we have it under the layout, under the callout value. Under the selection icon, as you can see the icon. Okay, so if I would like to go and change the icon color to this one, okay, we have, if you see this, okay, the icon color to this one, see this, if I would like to select this one, okay, so if I would like to select this one, the color I am talking about, okay, the color I am talking about. So that's one thing. And another point that we would like to get it is the position. What is the position of the button that you are about to choose, the small circle that we are selecting, what is the point that you would like to keep it, where do you want to align it. So that also it is clearly there. If you would like to align it somewhere to the right, yes, we can align it to the right as well, but left is always suitable. The size of it also, if you would like to increase the size of it, okay, the button size, okay, I'm just making it to 25. okay, if you would like to make it much more smaller, you can make it. Okay, I'm increasing the space in between them also. As we can see this, the space, it's getting, from the button to the text, the space is getting increased, and that's what is the spacing that I have considered here. All right, so that's done. And the very interesting point again here is the buttons. Okay, so under the buttons, if you see that the custom, okay, if you would like to have it in a buttons in a wider way, something like this. So when we talk about in the wider way, if you would like to add the shadow for each button, again it's getting hidden. Okay, so if you would like to fill this particular thing with any other color, so for example, if you would like to fill up this color, so the entire thing is getting filled up. Okay, so if you would like to change the colors I'm talking about, then you can go with it. Now again, after you change color, you have to go to callout value and you have to change the colors of all these values. So that's purely depend upon your choice and your kind of requirement. What is the theme or what is the template that you are going to use it for your dashboard. Okay, so if you would like to add any image in the background, you can even add the image in the background as well. Okay, so that's one thing we have it under the flow. So if I would like to see that in a normal custom way, okay, so then even you can go and give the padding. The padding plays a very important role, and how we have to increase or decrease the size of spaces between them. Okay, so this is one thing. And one interesting thing is that under this slicer, okay, list slicer, it is listing out. Okay, so under this, what I can do, I can even go and add another data field here. I can go and even add another data field here. When I go and add another data field here, so see this, under accessories we have technology. Under each subcategory, what this subcategory is and that subcategory is belonging to which category, all these informations we are getting it under one by one. Okay, so that's more one of the interesting things that we can consider. So under office supplies, under appliances, so this feature is not available for the regular slicer that we have, but list slicer is almost this very interesting thing, and very very representative way also we can go and use this list slicer. So my dear viewers, in this video we have seen the advantages and how beautifully we can go and format the list slicer in Power BI. Thank you for choosing KnowHow Academy as your source for IT knowledge. We are always here to help you to navigate the tech world. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. It's been a pleasure sharing this information with you. Stay curious and keep learning.